Each year in November, you may have seen these red poppies worn on people's shirts or shown on TV. Do you know what they are used to commemorate? They are a symbol of Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is the commemoration of the end of World War I in 1918. But what's the story behind Remembrance Day? It all began with World War I, also known as the Great War, which started in 1914. It began when a bunch of countries, including Britain, France and Russia, went to war against Germany and Austria-Hungary. Other countries, including Australia and New Zealand, also joined in to support their allies. The soldiers from Australia and New Zealand were part of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps and were called ANZACs. During the years of World War I, Australia and New Zealand were part of some really horrific battles that saw many people injured or killed, such as the landing at Gallipoli. Then one day, both sides agreed on an armistice, which is another word for truce. The signing of this agreement meant that the fighting would stop. So, at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November, the guns went silent after 4 years of continuous war. This was the moment that World War I ended. Because of this, the 11th of November is known as Armistice Day or Remembrance Day. Now, you might notice that the truce began on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month. This is why every year at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November, many countries around the world pause for 1 or 2 minutes of silence to remember those who have served their country in war. Did you know that in 1997, Australia decided to officially change the name of Armistice Day to Remembrance Day? This meant that the day recognised and celebrated any Australian who had served in any war or conflict. Now, back to those red poppies. Why are they so special for Remembrance Day? The red poppy was one of the first plants to come up through the grounds of the battlefields of World War I, making it the symbol of soldiers' sacrifice. Since 1918, red poppies have been made using silk or paper and sold to raise money for those serving in war or those who have been affected by war, a tradition that continues today. During Remembrance Day, there are also many ceremonies held around the world to pay respects to those who fought in World War I. Maybe your town or city even has a cenotaph. A cenotaph is a monument built to honour people who were buried somewhere else. It's at these cenotaphs that people often lay wreaths and where gatherings take place on special days. The 11th of November is a special day to remember those who have fought and continued to fight for Australia. Maybe you can make your very own red poppy this Remembrance Day.